Hello, my name is Sam Bullard, and today I'm going to tell you why you should get rid of fast food and processed food out of your diet. So, imagine you walked up to your favorite Coca-Cola machine at your restaurant. According to the International Journal of Food Microbiology, at least half of the fountains will test positive for fecal bacteria. Would you want to be drinking sewage water? Obviously not. So as college students, we find ourselves in a time crunch, faced with two options. Do we wake up early and make food, or do we get that extra bit of sleep and drive to where we can eat? An interesting point that my speech aims to analyze is if your convenience is really worth the risks and safety hazards of consuming processed foods. I mean, do you really truly understand the extent to which fast food is unhealthy? Or do you know the side effects of eating it? This brings me to my first point. Processed foods are a health risk. As convenient as it may be, processed foods pose a bigger risk to your health than you think. My name is Sam Bullard, and today I'm going to tell you why you should remove processed and fast food from out of your diet. So, imagine you walked up to your favorite soda fountain in McDonald's. According to the International Journal of Food Microbiology, almost half of the soda fountains will test positive for a form of fecal bacteria. Would you want to be drinking sewage water? Obviously not. So as college students, we often find ourselves in a time crunch, and we're faced with two options. On one hand, do we get to wake up early and make food, or do we get that extra bit of sleep and drive to where we can eat? An interesting point that my speech aims to analyze is if your convenience is really worth the safety risks of consuming processed food. Do you truly know the extent to which processed foods is unhealthy? Or do you understand the side effects of eating it? This brings me to my first point, that processed food is a health risk. As convenient as it may be, processed food poses a greater risk than it seems. At the cost of your health, you're being provided faster food than what you could prepare yourself. According to an article from the Medical Daily staff, a staff reporter provided some of the potential risks of eating fast food. These risks include, but are not limited to, heart disease, cancer, liver damage, a stroke, and even type 2 diabetes. High in fat, cholesterol, and additives. Consuming processed food shows considerable potential for health risks. Nutrition facts serve to educate the consumer on what they are eating. But what they don't understand is that it doesn't take into fact all the other things going into the consumption of the product. This brings me to my second point. Here are some specific examples of harmful behavior and environments in which food can be harmful to your health and your lifestyle. There are various causes to these risks. However, exploring specific examples like the Subway yoga mat conspiracy can provide valuable insight. In this instance, according to the CNBC, the popular fast food chain, Subway used azotocarbonamide in their sandwich bread, which was a common ingredient in yoga mats, and they used it as a preservative in their sandwiches. In another example, food is often subject to tampering by employees. In a popular image posted to a forum known as 4chan, a user from Mayfield Heights, Ohio, Burger King, posted a picture of his coworker standing in 2 buckets of lettuce. As you can see, it is on my slide, and that is a real image, and that is of an employee who has since been fired. And evidently, processed food is not only giving health risks, but also giving the potential for human tampering. In another prominent example, the norovirus outbreak with Chipotle food is a good example. The cause of the outbreak has been recently speculated by the CNBC to be caused by a lack of enforcement of the sick policy. Tying these 3 points together, we can understand that health isn't something that is made, but rather there's multiple things that go into making a product healthy. However, processed food is subject to hazardous practice and potential tampering. So this brings me to my third and final point. As unfortunate as it may sound, the only way to prevent processed food from harming your health is to outright take it out of your diet. Even though this may seem unfeasible, processed food provides the consumer with extreme amounts of convenience. However, the health risks do not outweigh the benefits. Some general ideas that a consumer can practice in order to avoid potential health risks involved with processed food include, but are not limited to, investment of money into grocery shopping, allocating more time for sleeping, and considering healthier alternatives when making meals. Also, incorporating meal planning is another important thing. To explain these 3 points, meal planning would mean preparation of meals before the event and any time before, the week ahead, a day ahead, or whatever time you need. Some benefits of this would include the opportunity to choose your meals. This gives you more opportunities to spend less on food, as well as customize and portion your diet as it pertains to your own health goals. This brings me to my conclusion that processed food is an extremely dangerous thing. Even though the nutrition facts may label the thing as healthy, there is potential for other health risks via fast food containment and contamination through employee tampering. In order to engage in change, you can outright cut fast food out of your diet. However, this may not be feasible to some. So incorporating healthy lifestyle habits like exercise and eating better could help reduce your chances of maintaining risks that were protruded within eating fast food. Thank you.